Good morning, everyone, on this beautiful Monday morning. I'm going to read the first, somewhat part of the first chapter of my book, Overcoming the Battles Within a Love Triangle. I call this story time. Pam and Denise waited until Chikuka left the house to go to work. As Chikuka drove off, Pam and Denise grabbed Neka and gathered their packed belongings, quickly leaving the house. It was a cold winter day, and Neka complained about how cold it was. She didn't understand that she was leaving her father for good. Denise attempted to comfort Neka, but she refused to hear anything she had to say. All Neka wanted was her father. Pam was busy getting the bus arrangements to Georgia. Honey, it's going to be all right. When we get to Georgia, you'll see Big Mom, Big Pa, and Granny. Pam would tell her daughter. Pam feared Chikuka and what he would do if he would get his hands on her. Pam whispered to Denise, who finally calmed Neka down. Chikuka would never have the opportunity to send Neka to Nigeria for good without me. That's my only child. Pam asked Denise, what are you going to tell Ma and Pa about your marriage to Chikuka? Is it truly over? Pam replied to her sister, yes, Pa sent us enough money to catch the bus back to Georgia, and we can stay with Nathan and his family until we get on our feet. Without our family's help, we don't know what Chikuka would do to me. He's not going to realize that I filed for divorce and left until he gets home. Denise asked, are you sure we are doing the right thing? I mean, Chooks has the right to see his daughter. And are you sure old man Harris can be trusted? Pam replied, old man Harris knows everything. He is a wise man. And he said he saw Chooks in a dream, sending Neka back to Africa with him. I will never see her again. Denise stated, I hope you know what you're doing. Neka may never forgive you for it. When Chikuka arrives home from work, he walks into the gloomy home. He hears no sounds of laughter in the empty structure. All he sees are empty spaces that used to occupy the items of his wife and daughter. He came across a note that Pam left telling him that she and Neka had left him for good. Chikuka felt distraught. How could she do this to me? He thought. I thought things were getting better. I know things were not always easy, but we were going to have everything we could ever imagine. What's going on? Do you have to leave me in this empty house alone without my daughter? All Chikuka could think about was why Pam did this to him. After he took a deep breath, his demeanor changed into rage against his wife. He called all his friends inquiring about the whereabouts of Pam and Neka, but no one knew where they were. He called the police to start an investigation into Pam's whereabouts. Chikuka began drinking several bottles of Star Lager and became violent. He threw punches into the wooden doors, causing several holes in the doors. He started throwing everything that he could find, including vases, his television set, and furniture across the living room. Everything he did only made him think about what Pam did to him the most. All I want is my daughter back, he yelled out. Why did you take her? Why? He screamed. When he finally calmed down, he called his family back home in Nigeria to tell his family what Pam had done. Nothing that his family said could relieve him from his heartbreak. As he sat in the lifeless home, he thought about good old Sandra, a friend he had at work. He called her and invited her to his home. Sandra had always wanted him. She disliked Pam with a passion. because she wanted Chooks for herself. When Chikuka confided in all his concerns, she only had her agenda in mind. Pam is so selfish. Why did she do this to you? I told you she was no good for you. She doesn't deserve you. You don't understand, Sandra. I still love my wife. She has Neko with her. That's my world. Chikuka exclaimed. Sandra had to think fast. She couldn't let that tramp spoil her opportunity. Suddenly, Sandra kissed Chikuka hard and passionately, thrusting her tongue in his mouth. Sandra began touching Chooks in the areas that he had longed Pam to touch him in. What are you doing? Chikuka asked. I want you to relax and just go with the flow. Pam is not here. It's just me and you. I want you, and I want you badly, Sandra said. Chikuka could feel the heat between him and Sandra. He glared into Sandra's piercing eyes and lost himself in them. Yeah, I want you to, Chikuka replied. He began caressing her breasts, kissing them ever so lightly. Sandra thrust her pelvis against his and continued to kiss him with extreme passion and intensity. Sandra proceeded down his stomach, down against his pelvis. When she stopped at his member, she thrust her tongue into the area that seemed forbidden with Pam. Chikuka grabbed her hair and began to moan. Afterwards, Sandra stopped and approached his bed. Come and get it. You know you want it. Chikuka lost his cool, and they plunged into the bed and slept together. I want my dad. Where's my dad? I want my dad, Neko replied as tears streamed down her face. Pam tried to keep Neko quiet, but Neko cried out the most. Maybe you should tell the child the truth. She has the right to at least know that you guys are no longer a family, Denise replied. Stay out of my business, Denise. I know what's best for Neko. She is my daughter, not yours, Pam retorted. Pam, I just want to get back to Georgia. The sooner we get there, the better. I can't believe you got me caught up in this messy triangle, Denise said, looking out the window, viewing the scenery. If you are wrong about Chikuka, you are going to regret what you have done. No matter what disagreements you have, he is still Neko's father. He has rights too, Denise proclaimed. Stay out of my affairs and worry about yourself. You don't know what it's like to have children. This is my child, Pam responded. Just because I lost my baby doesn't mean I don't know what it's like, Pam. I think about Neko, and when she gets older, she's going to know just what kind of person you really are. And you will be all alone. You have changed. Chikuka deserves better. I just hate Neko is in the crossfire. You can't separate their father-daughter bond, Pam stated. I'm going to make sure Chikuka pays for everything he has done to me. I'm sure Sandra and Chooks are together right now as we are speaking. I'm no longer there. She despised me, and Chooks never could see it. It was always Sandra did, so Sandra dad. Now they can be happy. Nuka is my ticket out this situation, and I'm going to use it.